Hi friends, today we'll see how to write a line graph, bar graph and table. Now here you and I together will be working so that by the end I should be sure that you have understood it. Fine. So now here you are seeing this image of line graph. Now if you zoom in, if you check out the question, then after I would like you guys to pause the video, go ahead and give yourself at least a minute of time and observe. Again, what will you be observing? You will be observing what is the image, means obviously we are having a line graph. What is the pattern of lines? Then what all things should I include in my overall? How should I distribute my data in body 1 and body 2? What am I given in the question? I have to understand. Fine, and then after I'll explain you all these things. What you can do is you can check how close was your observation to that of mine. This will help you to gain confidence, guys. Okay, so go ahead, pause the video and then let us come back and check. So guys, are you done? Great. So let us see what the question is. It says the graph below gives information from a 2008 report about consumption of energy in the US since 1980 with projection until 2030. Now, first thing, the moment I read this question, the first thing targeted my brain was the years given. I have starting from 1980 to 2030. So can you tell me what kind of tenses am I supposed to use? Yes, it is a combination of, I might require present also. So it's a combination of past, present and future. But mostly, yes, past and future tense. Okay. Now what next? If I see the movements of line, how are they moving? There is fluctuation, but do you think they are majorly fluctuating? If I see the first line, that is petrol and oil, there is fluctuation. In the initial stage, yes, there is a little more than a normal fluctuation, but then there is I can say negligible fluctuation. And if I see coal and natural gas, yes, they are fluctuating quite often. Whereas nuclear, solar wind and hydropower, they are somewhere fluctuating between 1990 to 2005 or 10, I can say, but after that they are stagnant apart from nuclear. Fine. Okay. So like nuclear is hardly fluctuating. So this is what I've observed. Have you observed one more thing, guys? That petrol, oil, coal and natural gas, these three lines are moving a little upwards, means they are increasing with time. Whereas nuclear, solar and hydropower, they have remained stagnant and they will continue the same trend till 2030. So this is what I've observed. One more thing, that throughout the period petrol and oil remains the highest, and towards the end from 2010 till future 2030 hydropower is the least. Now I have a whole lot of content to be included in my overall section. Now I should decide, no, I have a lot many things to be included, I should only pick two information so that I can while I'm explaining my content, I can use those information to further clearly explain my content. Now the third thing, how am I supposed to divide the data into two paragraphs? So here there are 6 lines, so it goes very clearly. I'll start from the highest and move towards the least, or I can do the vice versa also. So if I decide to start from the highest and move towards the least, my body 1 will consist of petrol and oil, coal, natural gas, and definitely the remaining 3 in my body 2. If I decide to go opposite way, then definitely nuclear, solar, wind or hydropower will come in my body 1 and the remaining 3 will drop in body 2. Can you guys make out that what kind of words or vocabulary I will include, or I have opportunity? I always say it's an opportunity. So where I can use better words, what opportunity do I have, or this line graph has given me? I would need the word increase and fluctuation quite many times. So I have to keep these kind of synonyms ready. Other than that, I see that like even in the natural gas line, the natural gas is remaining to be stagnant from 2010 to 2030. So altogether there are 4 lines that are remaining stable from 10 to 30. So again I would need this word, I would need the synonym for the word stable or stagnant. So okay, these are the words that I have registered in my mind for which I would need multiple synonyms. Again, there are 2 places where I would need the synonym for decrease. So the best thing is I'll go ahead, I'll write my content, I'll finish it with at first go and then sit and change those words. Let us just go through few words. If I need synonyms for say fluctuation, what words do I have? Do you have any idea? Without searching on internet, like you can bring out your the words that you know from deep inside your mind. Yes, we can use for fluctuation, we can use oscillation, we can use ebb and flow, we can use vary. So these are the words that we can use instead of fluctuation. What words can I use to replace the word stable? Once I'll write stable, then I can use constant, I have stagnant. So these are the words that I'll be using. Now what about the word increase? Oh, for increase we have a whole lot of vocabulary list already ready for both increase and decrease. I don't think that I need to help you out with this, but still I'll give you a few. For example, for increase we can say progress, incline, escalate or gallop. For the word decrease we have descend, plummet, I can say drop down. Here one more thing I would like to bring to your notice. If I just say, now just guess, okay? Now if I just say that the consumption of petrol and oil in the initial year was fluctuating, that's it. Will my reader understand that was it fluctuating majorly or nominally? No, not at all. But what if I add this word to my content? If I add this adjective to my content or adverb to my content, don't you think by adding the adjective or an adverb to your content will improvise the quality of your content, your explanation, your way of presenting your idea? So guys, never forget to add these intensifiers to your content. What if I just if I say that the consumption of oil and petrol in the initial year or from the initial year was fluctuating nominally. So guys, just adding one word adds such a deep clarity to my reader. So when you are checking, when you are sitting to check your content, also pay attention to such kind of gaps where you can slide these kind of adjectives or adverbs into your content. Yes, these are the things that I'm telling you which become the game changer at the end. Okay, so let's try a paragraph. So on your screen there is a paragraph. Now this many of you might have done it, like they are all I have taken the content from Cambridge, so through which we practice. So let us see how do you come up with the idea, how do you come up with vocabulary, and what according to you should be the content for overall. You can go ahead, pause the video, and you can make a small plan for your task 1. Okay guys, let us read the question. It says, the chart below shows the total number of minutes, which is in billions, total number of minutes of telephone calls in the UK, which is divided into three categories from 1995 to 2002. Okay, so we have in billions, we have the years from 1995 to 2000. So definitely the tense that I'll be using will be past tense. And if I observe the image, what can I see? I can see that the local calls altogether, though they are decreasing after 1999, still they are at the top amongst all the three at the end. The other thing that I observe is the national and international fixed line experiences an increasing trend. Don't you think? Don't you think it is increasing from the first year till the end? Yes. What about the black line, that is mobiles? They were very less utilized, but the growth is there. But what do you think? What kind of growth is it? It is a nominal growth, like it is increasing, but with negligible hike in the percentage. I can say till 1998, but after 1999 the percentage of, or I can say the billions, the number of billions have noticeably increased. So guys, this is the overall view that I have understood. Now comes what should I include in my overall paragraph? What do you think? If I am including just what I just explained, I can include, or I can say that like the first line, that is the local fixed line, remains to be at the top from starting till end, and at the same time the mobiles again follows the same trend, being the least. Can I write this? Okay, so now let us think, how am I going to paragraph the content? How am I going to distribute my content into body 1 and body 2? Now because we are having 3 lines here, I will decide to include 2 lines. Because we are having 3 bars here, 3 categories, I will decide to put 2 in body 1 and 1 in body 2. Now many a times we have a thought that should we explain year by year, or should we go by the category? Like, should I explain complete data about 1995, then go to 1996, then go to 97, Or should I take local fixed line at first go, complete it entirely, then move on to my national and international fixed line, complete it together? So when you are in this dilemma, I would suggest you to observe that if you'll pick year by year, what will be repeated? Yes, the names of the calls will get repeated that many times. So you can just imagine the repetition created, right? So whenever you are deciding to distribute your content into 2 paragraphs, you always should consider that how should I write that can minimize my repetition. So I think that if I go by category here, so my repetition would reduce. Okay, so I guess that by now you might have prepared the content that was quite close to that of mine. Let's see the vocabulary that we can put in. What can we put? What words are we regularly needing here? The increase, obviously, and just once we would need the decrease. So now I am ready with the synonyms of increase. Now I have a whole lot of bucket full of words that I can replace with this word increase. So if I just have to use these 2 words as vocabulary, what other choice or opportunity do I have to showcase my vocabulary to my reader? The intensifier, guys. How is the growth? Is it nominal or is it rapid? So these kind of intensifiers will help you to make space for using the vocabulary even in the content like this. Okay, let us see a table. Here you go. So here this is a table, and I would like you guys to just observe the table, give a minute and think that how are you going to explain the data. Okay guys, so let's see what have we got. It says the table below gives information about consumers spending on what? On different items in 5 different countries in the year 2002. So my tense is past. Let's see the title. They are country, food, drinks, tobacco, clothing, footwear, leisure and education, and we have 5 nations. Now when we look into the data, what do we observe? So food, drinks and tobacco are the ones on which the people are spending the most. Then comes clothing and footwear, and the least amount is spent on leisure and education. Okay, so let's move further and observe them. Can you tell me, under the food, drinks and tobacco, which is the country that is spending the most? Yes, it's the Turkey. Then comes Ireland. Then comes Spain, Italy, and at the last comes Sweden. So how am I going to explain? Now first is, am I going to explain from country to country, or am I going to take the category from one to another, like from food, drinks, tobacco, then I'll move to clothing and footwear? How am I going to explain? Further, let's see the data. Let's observe the data of clothing and footwear. If we see, Italy is spending the most, and Ireland, Spain and Turkey, they are spending almost close to each other. So don't you think that I can club the 3? Yes, I can. And the least is by Sweden. Talking about leisure and education, again I see Turkey is spending the maximum, which means Turkey is the nation which spends the most on both the categories, the first and the third, that is food, drinks, tobacco and leisure and education. So that can be included together, that can be clubbed together. Then again, Italy and Sweden, they are close to each other, followed by Ireland, and the least is by Spain. So now comes the idea of division of the content. How should I divide the content? Okay, so should I go country to country or should I take the categories? Now if I see the categories, they are lengthier than the name of countries. So I think that picking the categories would be a smart choice. Fine. So yes, before that I forgot, how are we going to give the overall? What kind of information can we write in overall? Yes, of course, a simple thing that we just said, that the major product that was spent on was food, drinks and tobacco, and the product or the commodities which were least given importance were leisure, and the category that was given least importance was leisure and education. So now, thinking about the bifurcation of the data into paragraphs, should I take food, drinks, tobacco, clothing and footwear in my first paragraph and leisure and education in my second? Now you might be thinking that why I am making my body 1 larger than body 2. Yes guys, body 1 is always larger, or the size of body 1 is larger than body 2. So yes, you can include more content in body 1 compared to body 2. Here I would again like to add something, that if possible, if you are able to close your body 2 with any general idea regarding the image, then it adds a complete closure. It gives the completeness to your content. So instead of just ending your content with leisure and education is spent the least in Spain with 1.98% full stop, it looks incomplete, right? So you can, while you are observing your content, when you're planning your content, that time, if possible, you can pick one information which looks like a closure. You can use that as the closure to your body too. Well friends, I hope that you've understood how to work with a line graph, bar graph as well as the table. All the very best for your preparation.